Hello all. I'm in a different setup. Pierre's here. Hello. How are you doing? I'm using a different setup and I have a fear that it's not going to work because, well, maybe. I did this setup because I didn't want to have to move my stuff back and forth. Man, that's really close, isn't it? And if I have this set up, I can leave it. Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to do a oil pastel of some AI generated flowers. So if you've been wondering, what kind of flowers are those? They may not even exist. They're magical. Iced coffee. What I did was, at first I just kind of outlined it a little bit with Pentel. I've got my usual Mungio and Paul Rubin over here. I've pulled some out to use that I think I'll need if I'm just, yeah, man, it's really. But anyway, the trouble I had with this table before is when I worked, the whole thing shook. So I think we might be good until I did that, and that was a rare shake. Okay, let me go ahead and get started. If anybody has any questions, just let me know. I don't know about the lighting here either. I've got two lights, one over here, one over here, but it seems dark on this side to me. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start. Again, if anybody has any questions or whatnot. Today is a test run for this new spot because got to what you gotta do. What's everybody working on? As usual, I'm going from hard or lean oil pastel to soft. These are either the Paul Rubens or the Mungio. If I see too much shaking on the camera while I'm working, I'll switch back to the old spot. And I see the camera shaking out of the corner of my eye. Yeah, this may not work. I should have done a test recording, but I didn't. That's okay. Now we will know. I went live in the studio yesterday and worked on my large easel, which was a lot of fun. Don't shake. And I'm going to do that again, I think tomorrow. I'm really not used to working vertical. My old bodies. No, it's 11 or 10. I start at 10 on Thursdays because I have it gives us 2 hours that way because I have another commitment on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. And I moved this flower, I moved one of the flowers up because I don't like the composition of it all being down here. So I don't know if it actually helps or not. But there it is. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. No, I am in Kansas, so it's central. No biggie, I'm just glad you're here. I'm not offended in the least. You're good. I know we've got other commitments and other things going on. You're here for your art time. That's what's important. I'm cleaning off the white some because I got this pink really dark. I don't know that that's gonna give me what I want either, but that's okay. It's an AI image, so we will change it however the heck we want to. I finally, yesterday, when I was working on the easel, got some work done on one that I have had sitting there. I can't even remember. I know I saw the reference photo the other day, and it was dated almost a year ago. But I don't think I started it right away. So but it really needed some time put in on it. It still does. It's not done. But I need to go through those books, Pierre, and get some, if you're still here, and get some ideas about coloring on for dark. I know I've got my dioxazine purple and other dark values I can use, but some areas just are too flat. And this was an oil painting. This wasn't in on the oil pastels. This was from yesterday. So how many people here are using oil pastels? Let's do it. I always forget that guy's name. I need to write it down. He was awesome. You know, I'm talking about the guy on TikTok that always said, "What you doing?" Man, almost came to me. He gained a lot of popularity during COVID because he was just funny. I know some of you know who I'm talking about. The guy who always talked about his mama. I have no pink in my 12s. Oh. Do you have like a magenta? Or I know red will give you some pinkish, but but it's not as, doesn't have as much oomph. Can't tell if this is shaking too much or not. I guess if nothing else, this spot can be like a backup. You know, if I've got something going on the other one that's more than a day or so. Which happens sometimes. Now that I'm working on my vertical easel on live streams, you're probably going to see some of the oil pastels be related to whatever it is I'm working on there in some fashion. Just out of natural progression. I said I'm really out of shape. I was sore. I still am somewhat from painting, standing up, or you know, I wasn't standing up, using salmon instead. Oh, that's cool. It's your piece. You use the color you want. If you want them to be blue, make them blue. In particular, my neck was sore. I am out of shape. I found I didn't even have like as much control over what the brush was doing as I used to. It was kind of wobbly because my muscles are so. Not used that way. So that'll be fun, seeing the progression of, for me, of seeing how long it takes for me to be able to have the control that I want. Standing up or sitting down, but doing it vertical. I know I could do some of these vertical, but it seems overkill because these are smaller ones. I am. I'm not good going 100%. Oh, you're fine. Me either. I'm not either. Yeah. You're, yeah. This is almost too simple, isn't it? I've only got 2 hours, so you know, I'm not going to dive into something too complicated and expect to get it done today. I never did look to see who my Monday master study was. Let me look real quick. somebody that did still life. Emil. Oh, I think I spelled it wrong. I would almost guarantee I did. Because I think it's Carlson, Carl with the R. And I put Cal. Yep, that's what I did. There we go. Emil Carlson. And it's a still life that he did of tea kettle and radishes. I'll do a detail of it. I got that fixed. See, it's dark on this side. Sorry, I don't think I've had enough coffee and my ADD is in full mode. I slept so good last night. It's rainy here in Kansas. That's way too yellow, but I'll tone it down if I decide it's too much. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of times with oil pastels, you have to kind of work. You have to work with what you have, and the colors will not always match, and you have to just blend and make them and blend by laying colors over each other. Or blending with your finger, or paper towel. That's really bright. Horizon just finished another. Ooh, go you. Do you have it online yet? I just wonder if it was something we could. Did I give you a. I think I did. I gave you a wrench. So you could share what you're doing. Again, I have sprints on my other channel like I usually do on Thursdays. I'm not trying to be monetized or anything on that channel. It's purely for more selfish reasons. It gives me time to do admin. And not be there may be some adjustments to the calendar this coming month. I volunteer at an art gallery. I'm on the board, and we have quite a few events coming up. We've been closed for 4 months because of vandalism, and we had to get things repaired before we could open. and we're finally going to be able to open. So that's some good news. Good news, bad news, but there may be some shifts in things. I just got the dates last night, so I'm not sure where things overlap. We'll probably skip a few things there. Like I know one is on Master Monday. I'm not going to miss Master Study Monday. I just can't do it. Too low on voice. That's probably... Yeah, it is kind of... I just need to speak up is all. I get to where I'm working on something and I do that. I just forget to speak up. I do have a separate mic for this I could use for future if it's too much of a problem. Like I said, I'm testing this work because maybe I did this setup. I just checked the... Yeah, I think it's as loud as it's going to get. There's been an issue on YouTube for a lot of us, and it's really weird because it's hit and miss. We don't change anything, everything's the same setting, but yet we'll hear that our voices can barely be heard, and well, we can hear it on other people's. They're barely, and yeah, I don't know. We've just started crediting it to something on YouTube that I don't know if they're playing with things for lives or what they're doing, but for some reason, some of the sprints we've noticed, you can't hardly hear. You have to turn everything up on your computer, and sometimes it will do it just on the computer and not on your phone. Your phone will sound fine. But for some reason, ooh, this is gloppy. I don't like this. I think the other's gloppy too. It looks... Maybe when I go over it with the white. I'll pretend like Horizon's sitting over by the door, and you have to be... No, or my husband, because he's like, what? I think he needs seriously, I think he needs a hearing aid. He needs to get his hearing checked. My husband does. So I'll just pretend I'm talking to him. I think the universe wanted me to get my behind up this morning, my butt up, because I was dreaming, and then all of a sudden I hear a slamming door. I thought it was my husband and that he was mad at me about something, but he's at work. And I know he's at work because I texted him and was like, "Where are you?" Because I thought maybe he'd gone to the doctor. Stayed home a little later and then gone to the doctor. Yeah, I just kind of cropped it because this is I only have like, what is this? Yeah, it's about 6 by 6. Once I get the tape on there, so this area with these size pastels, I thought about doing the glass separate as like a study because I think it's cool looking. I love doing glass. I do. One of my master studies, by the way, is Janet Fish. And if you don't know her and you like to do glass, you need to check her out. She does reflective work like nobody's business. Yeah, I'm just going to take it totally out. I had a little dab of it down here, but it seems pointless at this point. And Pierre, if you're still here, are you doing any of the color exercises in that book? I know I keep bringing that up, but I'm just in love with that book. And I did look for the Carlson. There's a one on by Carlson, a different Carlson, on landscapes, and he and I had talked about, and I went and looked at the price of it, and I can get a copy of it for, I think it was $13. I should just go ahead and order myself a copy. I think I might do some blending on this one. Nope. Why did I take that hunk off? Man, I must be going through menopause or something. Sorry, man, if that bothers you, but yeah, we're half the population. I was cold a minute ago, and now I am roasting. Actually, I should be done with all that stuff. Sorry, TMI. TMI. I'm hot. Wine and moan, wine and moan. I think I might do some blending on here with blending stumps. Get some of these colors nice and solid. Without laying them on too thick, because I still want to do some adjusting of color. I still want to do I realized my voice was getting really low again. I was getting into what I was doing. I will probably be doing some live streams. Yeah. I don't know how many's in this one. Which brand did you get? I forget. Okay. Oh, I do have a blending stump right here. How about that? It's a big one. I need a little one. I'll be right back. I'm just going to cross the room. Whoops, that was my seat. Where did you go, Johnny boy? Where did you go? Okay. I had this really nice seat here that my husband bought me. It's one of those stools. I mean, it's nothing fancy, but it had a back on it and all that. Notice I said had. One of my grandsons got a little wild on it and broke it off. He was really young, so. I don't know, there's almost not enough there to blend. And I'm intentionally pressing down harder to get some of that texture in there. Got a lot of little crumbs all over. Come on, baby, blend for me. I may need to use my mineral spirits. Either that or I'm too heavy-handed. I don't like this. I'm gonna get a brush and my mineral spirits. Mineral spirits. Just a little devil do ya. And a small brush. I got this kind of muddy here. Let's try and clean that up some. Do y'all ever dream about doing artwork? Like in your, literally in your dreams? Mungio. Yeah, the wood box, in my opinion, makes it worth it, if nothing else. Just for transportation. Not that the other boxes aren't good, because I mean, it seems like all of them have really good, nice, heavy. Heavy boxes. Just, yeah, I never really thought about it. All of them do. I don't like this one. No, I really don't like this one. Let's try it just blending my I think I didn't put that on thick enough. I think I need to get down in there and get gloopy. I'm being too safe. Seems like I'm either not heavy-handed enough or too much. There's a little bit of movement on the camera in there. See what happens when you're organized? I knew right where my little pointy tool was. What are you doing, baby? We've got some summer storms here, and our puppy is a little nervous. It's better, but it's not. About yeah, if you want to, that's cool. If you can't DM it, you're welcome to send it to the email that's on the in the description. I get some interesting inquiries about things to review. It's obvious that either whoever's doing it has no idea what the channel is about, or it's just a bot that doesn't know what it's doing, or both. I got one the other day that was for adult entertainment toys. I don't think that fits my channel. I know most of them are just automated. Farm for harvest the emails and then just send it to you. Send it to everybody. So has anybody had any weird weather this month? I know some areas it's it's raining here right now, which isn't totally normal for Kansas in July. Sorry, I keep forgetting it's July. Let's go in here with this puppy. It's blending it, but it's also making a lot of little crumbs too. Let's do a little bit more form to things. Because like this looks kind of flat. There is a trick to getting, like see this end is nice and flat. And if I wanted to use it, see you can't push it, but if you don't push out. their body heat or the friction. And then you have a sharp edge on there. Of course, when it wears down, then what do you do? Get out your knife and make it sharp, or use a paintbrush and make it kneel to your command. Yeah, I just don't know about this one. It's not getting, this isn't getting, that's kind of good there. And we're excuse me, we're less than an hour in, so. Again, it's because my voice tends to lower. I get to focusing on things. That's why a lot of times I will just play music, because when I talk or when I'm working, it's really difficult for me to focus on my voice and what I'm doing. What do I do with it? Try and get this defined a little better. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Does anybody watch any YouTube videos that are AI generated? Because they're taking them down. In case you hadn't heard, I guess people have already seen some things go poof. It has to have a human voice on it. If it has a voice. And not AI generated. That looks a little better. I cut off the stem here though, so now he's floating in midair. Ooh, I shouldn't be using that. That's gold. That's why it wasn't working the way I wanted it to. There we go. I wanted yellow ochre. I like the smushiness when it gets like that. Come on, baby. Get in there. It's warm enough. I didn't even have to do it on that one. I may have some just drawing lives. I need to do more drawing, and because I'm trying to do more of my own work, I'll probably need to do some studies and things. I am really bad about not keeping a sketchbook. I just never have gotten into the habit. It seems like I don't know. And I'd like to get into that habit. I think I can see the benefits of it. During my live yesterday, we had the sirens, the alarms, the local ones being tested, like off and on all day. I'm not sure what they were doing, but I'm grateful for whatever they were doing, but I was playing music during most of my live. 99% of it. So They sort of sound like tornado sirens. Well, yeah, that's what they sound like, is tornado sirens. Let's see if we can get this one into shape here. I don't think these two look too bad. They're not earth-shattering, but what the heck is going on in there? In this area. I've got it all. A little confusing. I think the storms have passed us. Yay! I know that's not working. That's because that goes over there. Oh, maybe. I don't know. This spot might work for. I need to get out some things for still lifes out of storage. I have a lot of silver and interesting and they are buried in my storage room. Sorry, I tend to think aloud. It's just the way it is. Should keep a notepad here. So I remember. I haven't looked for I said the other day I was going to look for my Richard Smith scans, and I haven't yet. I did look up who he supposedly learned to do his color charts from, but there really wasn't an individual. It was just that he had learned from traditional European methods, and apparently he thought that was important. If you're not familiar with Richard Smith, he's a very loose, he's passed on. He did very loose, very expressive paintings, and he's left behind quite a legacy. He's got some amazing books that explain his methods and his thoughts, but they are really expensive. For me, they're really expensive anyway. And that they're like $150 to get a used one. That's not even some of them are out of print. I need to look through I wrote down his name the other day to remind myself to look through my files for some things I had scanned of his, and I haven't done it. It seems like it always takes me a while to get into doing things. But it's on my list. So for me, that's a good beginning. I'm pausing to take a look at what I'm doing compared to what's on the screen. I know it's got more of a tannish, yellowish background than what I've got. And I may go for that, but for right now, I'm just going to go with it. Let's see what this peachy does. nice light. So yeah, that looks on. It looks better in person than it does on screen. I'll give it that. Kind of like that juiciness of that right there. May just leave that alone. She says as she messes with it. That's too peachy. I think this is too gray. Maybe not. Maybe so. Can you hear that clock ticking? Literally, I have a clock sitting here, and I think it ticks too loud to have near me. If it's distracting you, let me know, and I will move it to another spot. What was that? What are you doing, honey? What are you doing? Yeah, I'm not putting this down heavy enough to... I'm being too timid with my marks and not getting the heavy, juicy marks that I usually like. Except for right there. It's always that spot that you spent no time at all on. I think I'm gonna have to take a... I don't know if that's gonna work. Is that gonna... I might. I might have to take a quick break. If I do, I will make it up at the end. And go over a little. Everybody always asks if we know who broke into that gallery and did all that damage. And I think the police do. They just are waiting on the court system, is what we keep being told. But I will say the community has come out full force to help financially, and offers of muscle, and but we are going to open back up, by golly, just shortly. Which is pretty exciting. Considering I will fully admit it had me in tears when it happened. I was like, why? I think a lot of people were. I was not the only one. I have an old friend that's on the board also, he and his wife. And not only old in age, but old in how long he's known me. I mean, we're talking 40 years, something like that. And fortunately, he was the one that called me to tell me what happened when it was broken into. The thing that got us was it wasn't just that somebody broke in and damaged stuff. The kicker was that we had a school exhibit on at the time, and they damaged artwork, and it was children's artwork. I think that's what sent a lot of us over the edge. The monetary loss was just, we knew we would reopen eventually. We would figure it out. It was the fact that they had damaged all the some of the children's artwork. Because that's stuff you can't replace. And we have things in our... I'm looking for a pinky, not a peach, not a bright pink, not a... Let's see if there's some in this. Cinnamonne set. Now again, there's peach, peach. Hot pink. I don't want hot pink. I want pale pink. Warm, pale pink. I know there won't be any in here, but I'm gonna look anyway. It's just a small set of Cinnamonne. I wonder. Da, 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 da. Some of these lines in here. And Cinnamonne is really soft. It's sort of like I've heard people describe it as something that it sounds like it to a T, and I can't. My brain isn't working. My brain's working on this. It's bugging me now. Lipstick. Lipstick. That's what I was looking for. Sorry. I think my watch hours are out of the slump. I shouldn't say that because I probably just jinxed myself. We were just kind of floating along there, neutral, staying about the same, and they finally started to show some changes. So yay, good changes. I noticed Bellatini that comes in here sometimes. Her channel is doing really well. She does like coloring, things of that nature. I'm gonna try something here. Let's see what that does. Oil pastels are a fascinating medium. There's so much. And usually when people complain that they don't like them or they can't get them to work, it's because they're using Pentel and Pentel only. They're not using a softness that works with their technique. I think sometimes you need to play around with different brands a little bit. Some of them you can buy them individual sticks. Which reminds me, I have some Holbein over there that I haven't used much. Individuals. I like this texture that this is giving on the background. So I'm just going to do it a few more places. Kind of, it's like almost like a linen look to it. I haven't brought up politics once today. Aren't you proud of me? Except I guess I just did, didn't I? Saw I'll have to put it on the post feed. An artist that I admire put up a meme yesterday that cracked me up. I'll have to put it up on the, so you all can see it. On the community or the post. I'm gonna leave that little pinkish in there. See, before when I did this, when I first started doing them, that would shake the whole thing. So we've made progress. What is this right here? Why is there pink there? Why? Why? If you're working, remind yourself to sit up straight. Your shoulders back. Don't slump or slouch or pay for it. You don't want backaches. This is a very simple floral, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Just a very simple, uncomplicated little floral. Nothing too in depth. Just a good exercise. That bothers me. I'm only going to go till noon today. If noon my time, I'm at Central in the US. I'm gonna leave that alone. I like that. This little bud thingy right here. I'm just kind of starting over on this one. If you're wondering why I wear gloves, it's because I get it everywhere. And not all pigments are good pigments for our skin. especially if you do a lot. You do a lot of artwork. Even if you do a little artwork, it's probably smart to take precautions. Oops, wrong color. This little petal. See, that looks like it's cut in half. I don't like that. I mean, it kind of is from that, with that dark line, but my computer is over here, the monitor, so every time you hear the chair squeak, it's because I'm turning to the monitor to get a look. Get a look-see. Come on, baby. I'm going to take the reference photo off there because I've gone way off of it. My lights are not as light as its, and ooh, didn't mean to do that. I just had one of those senior moments, or is it preoccupied moments, where I'm looking all over for this Sharpie thingy, my pointy thingy, and it was in my other hand. I fully admit it. what I'm doing now, since I don't have that reference photo up, I guess I do have it in front of me over here, but I'm not really going by it. I'm just trying to make make things work at this point, and I'm not following the reference image verbatim. This is like a phthalo blue. I want to give it some depth in there and not just have that a flat brown. Give it a little bit of change in value. Squeak. Time is it? Oh wow. Time kind of got away from me. I love it when it does that when I'm working. Let me check something here. Check something here. Yeah, it was fine. I was just checking the volume to make sure that I wasn't speaking too low. Every once in a while I know I do. But try and check myself. I know somebody's saying before you wreck yourself. Boop. I know it's weird, or it may be weird, but I really like that little bud. Again, doing these marks kind of makes it look like linen to me. I know it's awful simple, or it's really simple. Simple. Oh, I don't want that. Sorry, I just caught something that It's a very simple little pastel here. This would be a good one, I think, if you're a beginner and you want something that is going to have some mixing of color, a little bit of value change. Some simple shapes. Huh. I wonder if it's scored like that so you can break it. Because I didn't put that score line here. Very cool. If they did. If not, it's still kind of cool. But just by putting simple lights and darks, a couple of shades, you can create a shape and not just a I should say form and not just a shape. Oh, I can't touch that. It just, that was scary. I don't want to miss that little bud, but it's very, very juicy. I'm just going to keep working till I don't have any time left, because there's little things in there that definitely need work. Again, this is just a very simple little floral. Nothing too complicated. And you know, I think that's one thing I like about these oil pastel studies, is they're simple little pieces that challenge me just enough 2-hour I've had people ask me off and on over the years for which mediums to start with, and it just depends upon what you like to do, because some people really enjoy watercolor and other people it's oil paint or oil pastel, or it's which one is easier is all relative in my opinion. And whatever my opinion is worth. I wonder, the other day we had problems with our AC. It like suddenly it like changed the temperature it was set at. It was like 83 when my husband came home, and I had not touched it all day. Hope it's not starting to show its age. I'll go check it after we're done. I can suck it up. Some of you might be interested now and to know what it said at, because I'm nosy like that myself. This has like a mauve-y background, but I don't really care for it. On the reference photo, that's more like what the color is. And I'm gonna give it a little shading over here though, and then knock it back with my magic pointy stick. And when you do use this, you can kind of feel the texture on it. It gives it a What's that doing? What is it doing? You know what's nice is I can leave these oil pastels just sitting here, and all I have to do is take my phone and laptop into the other room. And leave everything else as it is. One bad thing about wearing gloves when it's warm is they get all, I won't show you how sweaty that is on the inside. Let's see, gallery, gallery, gallery. I'm putting these back in its respected boxes so that what I really need to do is go through and put these by color, because right now I've just got them, whatever's there. That looks like a Haya. It is. Hiya. Let's see, it's a gallery. Gallery. Paul Rubens. Is that a white? Yep. Gallery. So you don't have to get real complicated and do portraits and very detailed works. See how oily that is on the outside, that shine. I'm gonna go look. Any bets on how warm it is in here? Is it 85? Nope, it's just me. It's just me. I was doing a lot of portraits, and that's why I bought this set. I think I bought the Paul Rubens after. And the Mungio. And then I got the Haya. You know what's in here? Or somebody's treat jar. Yep, you heard me. Come here, you want a treat? Here you go. There you go. I need to do a longer pastel. I did a portrait recently, and I learned a lot from doing it, so I think I need to do I need to do something that's a little more complicated. Maybe that's something I could do this weekend. Sorry, I'm trying to get the tape off the back. It's just a pop-up. I do need to move my, woo, I'm gonna get rid of that. Come back here. I need to move my camera clamp, because it's clamped on right there. And that's what's causing most of the jiggle, is me hitting it. I won't do it now, I'll do it after. And that might get rid of this darker, this hot spot up here, and a little darker down here. Look at that, I didn't even have to dig for it. I knew right where it was. Aren't you proud of me? I did not gesso this paper this time either. Today the 18th, nope, 17th. 6, oh no, it's 7, isn't it? 7, 17, 25. And I don't have an eraser, so that's just, I'll correct it later. I have an eraser, I just don't want to go run off and, yeah. Live demo on YouTube. I think that's kind of sweet. It's not, I know it's not highly detailed, or, but I think it's kind of a sweet little, clean up some of these lines. If you don't have something like this, you can use a nail or the edge of a screwdriver or your palette knife, the edge or tip of it. You don't have to go out and buy expensive equipment in order to do this. We were talking about the gallery pastels earlier. You can get a set of them in a wooden case for about $45. And I don't remember how many are in the set. I think it's 72. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 times 4. Did I count that right? Anywho's. That's roughly what's in there anyway. And you can go to Dick Blick, you can go to Amazon, Jerry's Artorama. It's a pretty popular brand. It's not something that you're gonna have to go to the manufacturer to order. It's and I know that price is relative depending upon where you are and if you're paying with US dollars or other forms of, oops, that's crazy. Look what I just found. I bet that would have worked great over here. You know where it was? It was in my box of white ones. I think this needs a little. It's not white, it's like a peachy. I started to write it on the tape. Or it's like a pale pinky. This one needs to go down a little further. There, I'm gonna quit messing with it. I could mess with it all day, literally. Yeah, I'm talking to my pastels. Look at what my whites look like. Okay, I guess that's it. I just got a warning about my battery going dead on my camera, and we're after the time, anywho. So I will talk at y'all later. Bye. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you more than I can say, sincerely. Take care, be safe, and watch out for a pop-up live stream in the studio if that's something you're interested in. Or Monday there will be Master Study Monday in oil paint. If you're only interested in oil pastel, I'll see you next Thursday morning.